Greetings and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about why I'm glad I didn't go to Stanford immediately. Before this video begins, I just wanted to let you know that the Dreamers College Essay Program for just 72 hours is going to be on 50% off. I'll put the website link and all of the details in the description as well as the comment section. I'll probably pin it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you in class. I was the kind of person who looked down upon a gap year. I was the kind of person who thought that taking a gap year was a waste of time. It was for people who didn't have any aim in life. It was for people who had an excessive amount of time. In this video, I want to help students realize for themselves whether a gap year would be the right option for them. And if a gap year isn't the right option for you, how could you still benefit from some of those really important qualities any gap year has? Because the fact of the matter is that a lot of you watching this aren't really going to be able to take a year off between high school and college. Maybe your parents don't agree with you, maybe your financial considerations aren't as mine were. So how can you still benefit from some of those really valuable traits a gap year has to offer without necessarily having to take an entire year off of your studies? With 2 months left to go for college, I can confirm, yes, a gap year was a wonderful opportunity for me and one that I would recommend to tons and tons of students, but not everyone. A gap year is usually for students who are extremely driven, they take initiative and they have intrinsic motivation. The reason a gap year student will have a really good experience is because they are pushing themselves to do things. They're finding opportunities all by themselves and nobody is telling them what to do. You have no structure left in your life, right? So in that situation, it is only people who are motivated by internal factors. You want to explore, you are curious, you want to try out a new activity, you want to learn a new academic discipline, you want to pick up a new skill. Those are the things that drive you. And if those are the things that drive you, then you're going to have a really good gap year. But if you're someone who's extrinsically motivated, if you're someone who only achieved things in high school just because they wanted to get into a good college, then a gap year is not what you are looking for. But at the same time, that value should apply to you throughout your life. You don't need to take a gap year to realize that intrinsic motivation is a good thing for you. In high school, you will go much further if you are driven by internal motivation because people will see that passion that's within you and they're going to want to give you more opportunities. Rather than if they see that you're dispassionate about something and you're just doing it to get, a tick on an application or to look good, they're not going to gravitate towards you. I genuinely believe that if you really love something, you are going to attract positive opportunities in your life. And that brings me to my second idea, which is the idea of unstructured exploration. I think the second biggest thing that my gap year gave me was letting me explore in an extremely unstructured manner. I just spent time trying to find things that I gravitated towards and things that nobody had to tell me to do. Take this YouTube channel for example. I just started making videos and I put them out and I realized that it was something I really wanted to do and I managed to gather an audience because I managed to put all of my efforts into the YouTube channel in the beginning of, let's say, 2020. It was only because of this idea of unstructured exploration, filming myself, editing the video, storyboarding the video, thinking of new ideas. I realized I really liked doing those things because at some base level, I really liked the idea of creating and sharing stories with the world. And if I wasn't given the time to explore that in an unstructured environment with no external motivation whatsoever, I'm not sure I would have continued YouTube or put in as much effort into YouTube as I ended up doing. So I think that the idea of unstructured exploration is really important. And what's more important than that is the idea of bringing it into your life regardless of the gap year. You're not going to take the gap year. Let's assume you're not taking a gap year. This value can still pertain to your life because if you're in high school right now, let's just say you take out 2 hours from your week to just sit and immerse yourself in any field whatsoever. Open your laptop, open your book, watch a documentary, do anything. But just try to look within yourself and ask yourself, what are the things you're gravitating towards? What are the things that you find yourself getting intrigued by? What are the things you're curious about? What is something that naturally piques your curiosity? Those are the things that you will realize if you put more time into, you're going to like. And those are the things you have the capacity to develop a passion for. And the third really interesting idea that I realized through my gap year was this idea of everything has 6 degrees of separation. Now, this is a very popular concept and it's a concept that revolves around people and how people are connected. So the theory is that you watching this video right now, you and I have a maximum of 6 degrees of separation between us. That means I, in all probability, know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows you. And that's crazy. That just means that everybody on this earth, in some shape and form, is connected. And it's actually true. Facebook conducted a research study, and I think close to 90 or maybe even above 90% of Facebook users were actually separated by 5 degrees of separation. Now, the reason this idea stood out to me is because the same way it works for people, I think it works for opportunities as well. I think every opportunity that you could possibly get is connected to you through 5 degrees or 6 degrees of separation. So if you look at my gap and you look at the things I've done, I participated in the Breakthrough Junior Challenge, which was a Khan Academy initiative that asks you to make a film on any STEM field. So I made one on COVID-19, I made one about vitamin D, and the winner of that field gets $250,000. I also had a media internship where I went to Delhi, I went in a filmmaking studio where I got to actually see how, advertisements are recorded, or for a startup company, how their app's promotional videos were developed. I also managed to launch an entire company, Sleep Deprived Dreamers, where we're basically trying to create online courses for high school students taught from some of the most talented college students in the entire world. Now, if you look at these 3 opportunities, the Khan Academy Breakthrough Junior Challenge, the media internship in Delhi, and Sleep Deprived Dreamers, you'll realize that all of them have one thing in common. They all originated from my YouTube channel. It was one of my subscribers who watched my YouTube channel. Her name is Ritika. She's also a classmate of mine at Stanford. Thank you, Ritika, if you're watching this, who told me about the Breakthrough Junior Challenge and said, listen, I think this is made for you. And I saw it and I just thought the idea was amazing. It was my YouTube channel who I sent to one of the individuals at the media internship who I got connected through someone I knew, who saw my videos, really liked them, and then decided to bring me onto their studio. It was my YouTube channel which gave me the idea for Sleep Deprived Dreamers because I saw high school students wanting to learn about the college application process, but they couldn't afford to pay lakhs and lakhs for private consulting. So what I realized was, this is just 1 degree of separation, realistically, 1 degree of separation between me and all of these insane opportunities. If I didn't explore YouTube as just one pathway, one avenue in my gap year, I wouldn't have unlocked any of those things. And you don't need to have a gap year to do that. You don't need to have a gap year to benefit from that experience. If you're in high school, if you're in college, every single door you open leads to 2 more doors, which leads to 2 more doors, and then eventually you have a cascade of just waves of positive opportunities knocking at your door just because you took that first step. So my point is, whenever you look at someone, you might look at the end point of that college application and be like, that's crazy, I wish I had that. But it never starts with that end point. You might look at Sleep Deprived Dreamers and say, oh my god, there's so many courses being created right now. It never started with that. You might look at my film for the Breakthrough Challenge and say, that's great. It didn't start with that. All of the things that it starts with is very small, very seemingly insignificant. But it's only when you pour effort into it, when you put in the hard work, when you put in the hours, does it really evolve and open up another opportunity that opens up another opportunity that finally turns into this big, huge thing that you're suddenly known for and everybody thinks you came up with on the first day, when it's actually a lot more normal and insignificant than that. You don't have to take a gap year for the ideas of unstructured exploration, for the ideas of 6 degrees of separation to come and filter themselves into your life. That is something that you can try and implement while you're in high school or while you're in college or while you're just a student yourself. The last thing I'd like to say is that a gap year can mean different things for different people. You might want to take a gap year off so that you can go pursue a research opportunity. I might want to take a gap year off so I can pursue a startup. Another person might want to take a gap year off because they just want to read all of the world's most famous books. The point is, you don't have to look at that stereotypical, I went backpacking in Europe and met tons of new people, and if you can't afford it, if COVID-19 comes and suddenly you're locked inside your house, that doesn't mean you can't have a gap year. It just means that you can use that entire year for a completely different thing. And if you have that thing, it's great. But if you don't, if you do take initiative, trust yourself to find that plan and find that thing as you go along. Because I can guarantee that you will eventually find one if you keep knocking on doors. Another thing that my gap year really taught me was the importance of family and the importance of relationships. In high school, I did a lot of work, but I wouldn't randomly start talking to my friend at 11 p.m. in the night, when it's close to my exams, and just spend 3 hours talking to them and catching up with them. I did do it from time to time, but not as much as I would have liked to. And I think the gap year really gave me the ability to take out time for my relationships, whether that's professional relationships or even personal ones, my friends, my family. I got an entire year to spend with these individuals. And I think that was really, really helpful. And that's something that I will remember forever. So the point is, you can use your gap year for anything. You can use it for relationship building, you can use it for extracurricular development, you can use it for academic development, you can use it to travel. The possibilities are unlimited. It really just depends upon how imaginative you are and how willing you are to really put in that dedication and that drive and initiative to go ahead and just do it. So yeah, to close up this video, I am very happy that I didn't go to Stanford immediately. I didn't think of doing it, and honestly I looked down upon the idea of a gap year, but I hope if this video can teach you anything, and I wish I could have seen this video a year back, it's that don't judge anyone for the path that they take, and don't discard the benefits that a path could have for you immediately. Try it out for yourself, and only then will you know if something is made for you or not. And if hearing my experience you think that a gap year is made for you, then best of luck. I would love to hear your ideas for what you would like to do in your gap year, even if it's hypothetical, in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!